Pretty, pretty.
Hey, we're back again, Coon Prairie Ramblers, for the third segment.
Steve Reich 3. You're out of there. Well, we're not out yet.
Safe.
What?
Safe.
Safe, yeah, okay. That means you got 10 more minutes to put up with us in this segment.
That's right. You're safe. You got one more to go.
Have mercy. All right.
We're going to change the rules.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about traffic.
On the road
Does that sound
again?
interesting?
Can't wait to get back on the road again.
No, we were at the break. We have some amazing conversations.
We were putting our brakes
time.
on during the break, and talking about driving and roads and
and everything.
highways and pavement, and
byways,
roundabouts,
smart ways.
Exits.
That's an old
Elvis Presley had a movie called Roustabout.
Roustabout.
But we're not talking about that.
Was he a Roustafarian?
A Roustafarian.
Roads. When I grew up, there were some roads in Nocatee that wasn't even paved yet.
Yeah.
They were dirt roads and stuff, and they've been paved since then.
You know, when I moved to Florida in 1981, I moved down to Sarasota, Bradenton area, and I got a job working construction right off the bat, and I had to go pick up some guy who lived in Bradenton, so it was my first jaunt into Bradenton. And this is a town, you know, Bradenton now is a big city, right?
It's huge.
Huge, Caroline.
I couldn't get over how many dirt roads there were in the neighborhoods of Bradenton. I mean, they weren't paved.
All right.
I never
Where
heard
I
of
came
such.
from, if you were in the city, everything was paved.
Well, everything here used to be dirt roads.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like here in DeSoto County, everything, they had grader operators who would go around and grade dirt about every 6 weeks or so, and then the county came in and hired a contractor to pave all the roads and did away with all the road graders. But they did a sorry job.
Yeah.
And now we're paying for it.
And when I met my wife, she introduced me to the term a 9-footer.
Yeah, road.
A 9-foot road. It was a dirt road, 9 foot.
Sure was. And you had to pull off halfway off the road when you passed somebody.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
The road I lived on, it was a 9-footer. Essentially, it's still a 9-footer, even though it's paved, because you still got to pull off the side, kind of.
Right.
But the thing about a 9-footer, at one point you drive down that road, it's nice and smooth, and at another point you drive down that road, it's like a washboard.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hate washboard roads.
My wife said the key to this is when you're on a washboard road, go faster.
That's right. Otherwise, it'll beat you to death.
Skim across it.
Yeah.
You throw a lot of dust up, but
one of our daughters
beat you
used
to death.
one of the twins, we'd get on that if it was in a rough situation because the grader hadn't gone down there. She'd say, faster. She's 5 years old. Faster.
She knew.
Faster.
Because she could feel it. Her false teeth weren't falling out yet.
Yeah.
You couldn't haul nitroglycerin down that road.
Right, yeah.
Not for long.
I'll see the
anyway.
road. I used to drag tires down or a steel bar.
You took care of it yourself, huh?
I took care. Well, I got tired of being beat to death, and one thing about
it's not good for your suspension.
I was trying to look out for my mail person, mailman that delivered the mail to the house, because it was hard on their suspension. Because
one mailman looking out for another mailman.
Well, that's what it amounted to. So it's I used to drag, and of course now I got a road full of potholes, and usually I call the city about it, or a county rather, because I don't think they ever check it. Yeah. Right now it's somebody here a few months ago came and put rocks in the holes.
Yeah, that's not
that
good.
helped.
And that wasn't good. I called the county on it, and I told them they need to come put some tar or some asphalt on top of it so they don't punch a tire.
Concrete.
And they did. And now I got mounds.
Yeah.
Like a mound, but now I got asphalt mounds along with the holes.
It's almost like being back to having a washboard road when it was...
Well, my comment to the lady, and I realized she's just a telephone operator, that she doesn't handle anything, and I'm sure she hears enough complaints throughout the community anyway, but I would have rather them left it the shell or the dirt, so I could grade it myself.
Yeah. Now tell that to the county commissioners who took out a $20 million loan, I think something like this, over a 20-year period to pave all the roads in the county, but they weren't really paved that well. Like, immediately after the pave, stuff was growing up through them,
Yes, well, that's the way my road is.
And also on my road, whenever they paved over where a culvert went through underneath.
Yeah.
Well, those culverts are kind of like they're sinking, and there's grass growing into in the sink part. So it's kind of like we're going back to the way we were.
Yeah, but you can't fix it unless you. I've debated,
you'd have to
and
fix it well.
Somebody had told me they're down in Port Charlotte getting some pea gravel, which is real fine rock. Mm-hmm. But if I can locate me some tar, I'm gonna fix the whole.
Yeah, you can pea gravel everything, but then that basically puts you back to where you were.
Yeah, but that's the way basically the way the roads were fixed almost anyway was a very thin. If it was asphalt, it was so thin it wasn't worth doing.
Yeah,
they just put tar down and poured little pea gravel rocks across the top.
A lot of times back in the day, they used to mix shell with it or pour shell over it because you had shell in.
Well, I remember you used to get behind a tar truck. And they just spray tar, and then then a sand truck would come behind
and you come by
and
and
just
pick
spray
it up
sand
on your tires and sling it up on the side.
On the side of the cars.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, you
but that was the fix. That was the fix a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
Spray tar, sand truck, and.
But that 20-year loan that we're still paying because that was back in 2001 or something like that.
Is that when it was?
Yeah. So we're still paying for it, and it's deteriorated. So.
I'm the last house on a dead-end road.
Stunt.
And it's not been paved. It's never been paved. It's dirt road, and once in a while they bring a little bit of shell and put in there if it starts getting.
Oh, you live on the other side of the tracks.
I'm on the poor side, of course. If it's a dead end road there, I'm the last house. But I got no complaints because you start paving it, you're going to get more traffic coming down there, turning around and stuff.
Well, yours runs into a swamp, if I remember right.
It does, and it runs downhill, so that wears out. The water runs off. But it's only 2 blocks long. My road is. The first half is paved, the second half is dirt. So when it comes off the paved part, it goes downhill in front of my property.
You've got a very interesting neighborhood. You got a swamp, you got a graveyard.
I sure do.
You used to have a football field right in front of you.
Football field right in front of it.
Is it still a football? Is it still a field?
Yeah, there's still a field out there.
That used to have a good football team when that private school
was there. Sure was.
Man, that must have been back in the old days. What?
Been a while. I've lived there 40 years, but I don't want it to be paved.
40 years is a drop in the bucket. Yeah.
But we're talking about highways. We were discussing. I remember as a youngin', and you were talking a lot of years ago when they started 4-lane and 17. Mm-hmm. Of course, it was all the way north. You're talking up above Bartow.
Yes, way back when.
And now, and of course, here it is 55 years later, and they're working on the last little segment of it in Hardee County to get it 4-lane. Of course,
I didn't think we'd see it in our lifetime.
I hope they don't put no circulars. What do they call it?
Roundabouts.
Roundabouts.
We don't have one, and I don't want one.
I hate those things.
Where is it? There's one. Is
there
one up in Wauchula?
My first roundabout, I remember was when I used to go to the orthodontist in Sarasota. There on Tuttle, I think it was.
Tuttle.
A roundabought used to be there.
Yeah. My daughter's got one near her house over in Sebring.
Well, it's Tuttle and
right off Bee Ridge Road.
The road that runs into that. Yeah, I can't think of it. Anyway, I know.
I know where that's at. Didn't Sebring have? Of course, I don't go. It's been since a long time. Right in the middle of the city, a roundabout.
In the
old part,
older part of downtown. Yes. My daughter lives in a community in near Sebring called Sun and Lakes. There's a hospital right there next to 27. You turn and go in there, and you go a little ways, and there's a roundabout right there.
My theory is the reason they put those in is because they think it looks aesthetic or it's
cool.
Modern. But they're a pain in the neck, and I think they cause accidents.
I'm sure they have accidents.
And I mentioned during the break, but the first time I ever saw one was in Bangkok, downtown Bangkok in Thailand, and it was 6 lanes deep.
I can imagine.
And the little bicycle drawing carriages weren't allowed on it. It was only taxis.
It ran over.
And you get in the wrong lane, you got to go all the way around and work your way out to the right lane.
I ain't doing that. I ain't doing it. If I'm going somewhere and find out there's a roundabout, I'll figure out a different route.
I'd hate to be older and then to get stuck on it and just stop.
Go round and round and round.
And just stop. So I've had enough of this stop.
Anyhow. Well,
St. Armand Circle, there's one there.
Well, we had enough of this, so we're going to have to get on out of here, too. On the road again.
Dizzy.
We'll see you in segment 4. Y'all come back.